This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WCFW Daily News Roundup for 105.7 CFW in Chippewa Falls and 93.5 The Tap in Eau Claire.
For WCFW News, I'm James Kelly. The Wisconsin and Minnesota Departments of Transportation are accepting public comments on plans to replace the Osceola Bridge on Highway 243. According to a press release, the agencies recently completed the environmental assessment for the project and have released that information for public comment until December 26th. The results of the assessment can be found online or at various DOT offices like Osceola, Eau Claire, and St. Croix Falls. DOT officials will also host a public meeting at Osceola High School next Tuesday night. The University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire has once again been recognized for having one of the best study abroad programs in the Midwest region. According to a press release from the school, the study abroad program ranked 12th in the 2024 Open Doors report, a slight boost over the 15th ranking the university achieved last year. School officials say over 400 students studied abroad during the 2022-2023 school year, and they're looking at various options to continue growing the program to offer even more opportunities for students. An Afton man has allegedly racked up tens of thousands of dollars in fines after abandoning a large half-sunk boat in Hudson. According to law enforcement authorities, 27-year-old Grayson McNew is the apparent owner of the 54-foot Blue Water Intercoastal, which had been tied down at the city's new boat launch for a week in July before he was told to move it. He allegedly then sailed the boat out to Beer Can Island and left it there, with the boat later suffering hull damage and becoming beached on the sand. McNew is facing $44,000 in fines. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has released a warning about cucumbers sold in Wisconsin that are being recalled over a possible salmonella threat. According to FDA officials, the cucumbers were sold by SunFed in 26 states between mid-October and November 26th. Since then, 68 people, including a handful from Wisconsin, have become ill after eating them, and a recall was issued. If you recently bought cucumbers from SunFed, you should check for the label reading Aggretato SA de CV and throw them away or return them to the store. The leader of Wisconsin's Democratic Party has announced his bid to head up the party's national strategy. Ben Wickler joins an increasingly crowded field to head up the national party with lawmakers from across the country and says his goal is to unite the party and fight to win. As part of his sales pitch, Wickler noted that the swing state of Wisconsin shifted towards President-elect Trump by a significantly smaller margin than other swing states in the 2024 election, as well as his track record of outraising Republican candidates in competitive races. With the 2024 election in the rearview mirror, Wisconsin residents are now turning their attention to the upcoming state Supreme Court election that will have major consequences for the future of the state. Over the weekend, conservative Brad Schimmel officially announced his candidacy to replace liberal Justice Ann Bradley, who plans to retire at the end of her term. The state Supreme Court currently holds a 4-3 majority for Democrats, which proved essential for maintaining reproductive rights following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. 3 men involved in a bar brawl in Rice Lake in 2023 have been ordered to pay over $23,000 in restitution. According to court documents, 2 Rice Lake men and a Dallas man were involved in the altercation at Mr. Bob's bar that left another man severely injured. The victim was found in the parking lot behind the bar by authorities, unable to move his left arm and bleeding from the face. He had allegedly told the 3 defendants to leave the bar because they were making people uncomfortable. All 3 were criminally charged. The Eau Claire Police Department is looking for help from the community identifying a suspect in a package theft. Law enforcement authorities say a doorbell camera caught the man taking a package from the home's porch and stuffing it into his sweater before slipping and falling on his way down the stairs. The video was posted to the Eau Claire Police Department's Facebook page. Authorities are also reminding residents to be careful with deliveries during the holiday season, as thefts occur more often with more packages being delivered. A recent Broadband Now report found that Wisconsin is one of the worst states in the country when it comes to broadband internet access. According to the findings, less than 80% of residents had access to broadband or high-speed internet, ranking the state 45th for access. State officials have been undertaking efforts to increase access, including hundreds of millions of dollars in funding for broadband infrastructure projects. Many of those projects are still in the construction phase, however, and may not be completed for a couple of years. Wisconsin farmers are losing hope that a new farm bill or an extension on the current farm bill will be approved during the final days of the year. The United States Congress will return to session on Tuesday with about 2 weeks to approve another farm bill extension or a new farm bill entirely, but experts believe there will be no movement on the bill until the next Congress. The bill was a major topic in the final days of Wisconsin's Senate race and provides support for the farming industry like crop insurance and sustainable farming assistance. For WCFW News, I'm James Kelly.
The Packers get ready for Detroit. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Packers face the Lions Thursday night at Ford Field. I asked quarterback Jordan Love, was it weird holding a Wednesday type of practice on a Sunday afternoon?
Definitely. It was definitely a weird week, and it was weird to wake up and know that there's other football games today. So it doesn't feel like Sunday, but like I said, we're treating it like a Wednesday.
NBA, the Bucks are now 10-9 after beating the Washington Wizards over the weekend. Up next, they host the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks have won 6 in a row. College hoops, the Badgers with a 74-53 win over Chicago State. Tomorrow night, they'll face the Wolverines at the Kohl Center.
We know now we jump back into deep water Tuesday night with league play opening up, and got a really good Michigan team coming in here. So we'll use Sunday and Monday to prep for that, and get ready to, like I said, jump into Big Ten play.
That's Wisconsin's head coach Greg Gard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Scattered clouds this morning, becoming mostly sunny by later this afternoon. Our high today in the upper 20s with wind northwest at 5 to 15. Tonight we'll drop down to around 12 for a low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, becoming a little breezier in the afternoon with a high in the mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 17.
That's your WCFW and the TAP Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WCFW.FM or thetap.fm. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.